Ever noticed how rich folks like Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg dress kinda normal instead of rocking fancy brands like Louis Vuitton or Balenciaga? It's a head-scratcher. Why do they look poor when they're rich enough to buy your whole hometown? Dive into the reasons behind this trend, uncovering the cool dynamics that refine being super rich without the need for flashy labels. And we will also try to find out why typical luxury fashion brands and bling are mostly worn not by real millionaires, but by those who pretend to be rich. Okay, picture this. You're scrolling through social media and it's like a never-ending parade of people flexing their fancy stuff. Instagram and TikTok are basically flooded with influencers and celebs showing off their glamorous lives, making us all believe that owning a bunch of cool things is the secret to being happy. It's like a big show of bling, and fancy brands are like puppet masters, trying to convince us that the more expensive something is, the better. Now, life throws us some curveballs, and suddenly everyone feels this crazy pressure to prove they're living the high life. When usual signs of success like owning a house start feeling out of reach for regular folk, the race to show off your success gets even more intense. It's like society's whispering that your value is measured in the brand names on your stuff. But guess what? There's this cool dude named Warren Buffett who's swimming in money but doesn't need to shout it from the rooftops. While everyone else is busy flaunting their bling on social media, Buffett's sipping on his cola and keeping it real. His lack of flashy posts challenges the whole idea that being successful means showing off. He's all about smart money moves, not throwing cash around for the gram. Now, that's the real deal. Imagine you're in a big social game and there's this thing about having fancy stuff. Even though these things are crazy expensive, regular folks like those in the middle and lower classes somehow get their hands on them. Why? Well, it's like having a golden ticket to seem way fancier than you might actually be. Now, think about places where some people have tons of money and others not so much. In these spots, folks might grab these flashy things not because they're rolling in cash, but to look successful, you know? It's a bit like putting on a show. Here's the twist. In areas where the rich-poor gap is glaringly obvious, there's this extra push to seem well off. That's where the fake versions of these fancy things come in. People want to keep up appearances even if their wallets are feeling the pinch. It's like a trick, a way to make it seem like they've got it all together when maybe they don't. So, having these high-end things, whether they're real or knockoffs, become a kind of silent message about the big gap between the haves and the have-nots. It's a weird world where looking successful can sometimes matter more than being smart with your money. But having really fancy stuff doesn't always mean it has a big brand name slapped on it. Even though brands like Gucci or Balenciaga might catch your eye, rich folks often go for a more chill vibe. See, those big logos on mainstream luxury brands can sometimes just be a way for people to show off their money without caring much about how good the stuff actually is. Real luxury is more about low-key styles without those in-your-face logos. It's all about clothes that are super well made and fit just right. And get this, even in those big name brands, there's a level above the flashy logos, styles or sub-brands without obvious branding that are crazy good quality and cost a bit more. Look at Warren Buffett or Elon Musk. These billionaire guys aren't out there cruising in red Ferraris or rocking Prada and Versace. Nope, they're all about classic, no-brand clothes that are top-notch quality. It's like saying true luxury isn't about shouting brand names, it's about rocking a style that's timeless and well-made. Warren Buffett, who's like one of the richest people on the planet, keeps it real with his money. He drives an old car, lives in a regular neighborhood, and doesn't go overboard with fancy stuff. Buffett's all about a simple life, saying no to showing off his wealth or spending a ton on things he doesn't need. Even the way he dresses is more about being practical than showing off. Take Ingvar Kamprad, the IKEA guy. He was another billionaire who kept it low-key. He'd hop on economy class flights, drive an old Volvo, and live in a regular house. These examples mess with the idea that all billionaires live it up big. Turns out some of the richest people around actually prefer keeping it simple and not going crazy with their money. Billionaires are like secret agents in the world of wealth. and they've got these cool strategies to keep their financial superpowers under wraps. First up, there's the stealth wealth move. It's like getting top-tier stuff without making it rain in public. No flashy displays, just high-quality swag on the lowdown. It's their way of keeping the paparazzi on a wild goose chase and enjoying some peace and quiet. Then we've got the rebels, the billionaires into poverty peacocking. Imagine a rich superhero wearing a hoodie and jeans, casually flexing that they're too cool to care about their mountain of cash. It's all about staying real and relatable, proving that even with a vault of gold, they're just regular folk. And don't forget the humble CEOs trend. Tech tycoons swapping suits for hoodies and sneakers. They're like rock stars of the business world, keeping it chill to win over fans and investors. It's all about trust, being down to earth, and showing that even billionaires can be your next door buddies. These tactics turn the billionaire game into a fun mystery where they outsmart expectations and stay true to their own rules. Alright, check out the cool mindset of the truly wealthy crew. Unlike the peeps blowing dough on Gucci kicks and blinged watches, the truly wealthy are investing in VIP services and helpers. They're like, why spend hours on stuff I'm not good at when I can get a pro to handle it? Smart move. And the real game? It's not about looking rich, it's about growing rich. Instead of flexing with labels, they're throwing cash into education and mentorship. It's like they're getting a PhD in money making. So, while others play the show-off game, the truly wealthy are building empires in the background. It's all about substance over style, making moves that count and ensuring they're kings and queens of the financial jungle. The idea of looking poor is about choosing what really matters over flashy stuff. It's not about caring how you look, but more about saying no to expensive or showy things. Truly wealthy folk get that their worth isn't about fancy logos or bling. This mindset is all about skipping the need to show off with flashy stuff. They go for a chill, low-key vibe that's all about being real instead of putting on a big show. Looking like you're not rolling in cash becomes a smart move to avoid unnecessary attention and keep things private. By keeping it low-key, rich folks can breeze through what society expects while focusing on what really counts, their character and what they've achieved. It's basically choosing to be rich in who you are and what you've done instead of throwing cash around for everyone to see. The image game played by people in the spotlight is like a master plan with a dash of strategy and a sprinkle of savvy moves. One awesome trick is rocking a relatable vibe as a ninja-level sales tactic. By ditching the flashy stuff and putting on a down-to-earth act, these folks become buddies with consumers and investors. It's like saying, hey, I'm just like you. And let's talk about the cool cats who act all frugal. It's not just their personal style, it's a genius move to amp up the success story. They're shouting, look, you can make it too, by keeping it real with modest and simple living. It's like a secret code saying, success is totally in your reach, buddy. This slick strategy isn't just about selling stuff, it's about convincing everyone that success isn't just for the fancy folks, it's for anyone with the right mindset and vibes.